Benoit.
Congratulations on the win, my man. You look great in there. A little banged up, part of the job. How did you feel? 1 to 10. How do you feel about your performance and your win?
I think it was a good performance. The only thing that was bad is the only time I got punched was this knee at the beginning, because I was impatient. I had not enough patience on the feet, because I'm always like a machine. I'm gonna put pressure till the guy is gonna break or it's gonna be a war like my last fight. I have trained a lot on taking my time on pressure with the wrestling and grappling part, not forcing things too much like I did with Eliseo, so I didn't manage to keep him down enough time, and it cost me the fight. And this time in the lightweight division, I feel like he's not a bad opponent. He did good stuff against Emi. We did 3 rounds, who is a good wrestler, but I feel like a child in my hands, because my pressure, I was like home when I had my hands on him. But I'm not happy about the fact that I was too impatient at the beginning, and that I got a knee in the face for nothing. So next time I'm gonna take a bit more my time also on the feet before trying to put pressure on. What I want to do is I'm still not doing this sport like a sport. I'm still doing it like I'm gonna try to break you, and I'm looking for the finish, not for the points. This is the type of fighter I am. When I was 19, I was already doing war in Mali and in the French Special Forces, and war is not a sport, and I always took this sport like war. Like, what I love is like no time limit, stuff like this. So I need to see it a bit more like a sport, with the time coming and getting a bit more professional with that, taking my time to not be impatient like I did the 2 first minutes, and everything is gonna be fine, I think.
And it looked good. I mean, you beat me to my next question with that patience. It seemed like you were trying to get the finish. You were fishing for it, but you didn't put yourself in any predicaments to where it could have not gone your way. And it obviously just fell into place for the second round. And that's what you're talking about there, your growth and your patience in your fights.
Yes, exactly. Like the Benoit against Eliseo would have tried to finish the guy right away. First time he got the hands on him, because I was used to it. I got a lot of finish in the first round, because I put too much pressure on the guy, and the guy doesn't manage to 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 resist. But in the UFC, the guy are tough. They have a good team. Despite the guy having lost his 2 last fights, he has improved a lot, because he's training with Donald Cerrone, with guys like this. UFC gives you the opportunity to be a full-time fighter and to train full-time. So everybody is going to improve when he's going to the UFC. So you have to take everybody seriously. And yes, I did my job. I took my time against the cage to break him down, to get him slow, to get him tired. And then when I felt I had a gummy bear, then I did the job.
Great stuff. I love it. And lightweight is the home. Now we're staying with 155. How did it feel? How's your conditioning, your timing? You look great. I mean, I know we only had 2 rounds, but that looked like a solid 2 rounds for you and a good home at 155.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the same weight I was against Eliseo, like 79, 80 kg. And so, yes, I think I'm a lightweight, because obviously welterweight 77, and the problem is the wrestling. It's not about the power. I'm not. It's not about the power or the rhythm. It's about the weight and the wrestling. In the welterweight, it's difficult for me to put the same pressure like what you have so here. I'm think I'm gonna do that on a lot of guys in the UFC in the lightweight division. So I feel it's my division.
Excellent. And you don't look too banged up. Last for me, how bad do you want to get in that card when the UFC goes to France?
It's a very difficult question, but there are 2 fights that 2 places I want to go: London and Paris. But because I'm getting married very near to the date of Paris, I would love to go to London and to fight in London, because I think the best atmosphere in all Europe is London. English boxing, mixed martial art, all. When you have brawling, London is the place to be. We have seen that with the last London card. It was just fucking crazy, and I think it's the Englishmen. Man, we did a 100-year war with the French guys against them a long time ago. They are always brawler, and they are always tough fighters, and it's people they love the fight. French guys also, but. Because of my marriage, I would love to do the London card. If it has to be Paris, it will be Paris. I will see how I can manage the two stuff together, but I will love London.
Excellent.
Hey, Benoit. You just said that you were on the London card, but and if you don't fight on the Paris card, just how excited are you that the UFC is finally going to Paris?
Man, it's great. It's just great. It's a big opportunity for all the French guys fighting. It got legalized only 2 years ago in France, so we struggled with a lot of stuff. To do MMA in France, it was difficult. You had France, like the couple of guys you have seen so far making it in the UFC, French guys, they were all strikers. Even now, you see Nassourdine on Gan and before that Cyril Diabaté, guys like that. They are all because they are coming from striking. Because in France, striking is popular, but wrestling specific for MMA or ground specific for MMA is just getting there. So there are good trainers like Daniel Warin, my coach, who has been training Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida, and Anderson. Lot of years. I'm a happy man because I had the opportunity to meet him, and in 2.5 years of work, he booked me to a level to make it to the UFC. I started my career 2019, 2021. I was a UFC fighter fighting against top welterweight Elysée. So my coach did a fantastic job. We have the sparring in France, but I think we have just to put all our force together to help each other, because there are talents in France, and we have to help each other to climb the level to the top, so we will be respected like Americans, Russians, and Brazilians. So we will be a great country, like the English guys did. They have a lot of fighters, and more than we do in the UFC, because they are having it since a bit longer time, and it's great to have Europe on the map. And I'm gonna do my best to put France on the map, and I'm gonna give you war every time I'm inside the cage.
I wanted to touch on your UFC debut. There was a lot of outrage about your fight, about the stoppage, about the referee letting it go on, your coach not throwing in the towel. You never really got to talk about it, only through social media. But what were your thoughts on your UFC debut and just all of the outrage?
No, I always try to always when the how do you call it? The guy in the middle of the fight is how do you call the guy in the middle of the two fighters inside the cage? The referee. Sorry, my English is not the best in the world. So always the referee asked me to do stuff. I did stuff. I'm a fighter. I'm not gonna break. I'm not. If he's not knocking me out cold, or if he's not making me sleep or breaking a arm, he's not gonna get me. And because it's my job. Like in training, you have to be a scholar guy. It has to be a good atmosphere in the training room. You have to get submitted to submit guy, taking eating guys. It's fun. But fighting, it's fighting, man. We are fighters. We don't fight every day. It's our job, and our job is to do everything we can to give the people a good show, and to be respected, and to have respect for ourselves after the performance we did. So I'm always gonna put my heart in a fight, and I don't want the fight to be stopped. If I know I have the abilities to knock out or to submit anybody, like end of the second round, I hit him with a good hook, and the fight was getting a bit more closer again. Yes, I did get fucked up for 2 minutes, but then it went back to normal. So it's fighting, man.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. And then finally for me, God of War, who gave you that nickname?
Yeah, it was a choice of my brother. So I have four little brothers. We are a family of five guys. So just behind me it's medicine. Just behind that it's a fireman. Then against medicine, so we have like always one guy doing the brawling stuff, one guy doing the thinking stuff, brawling, thinking, brawling, and yes, the thinking guys of my brother's part have chosen that because they find it was good with my past, because obviously today we live in a world where media is a big part. You have to have something that is giving you your personality, that is showing the people personality, so they can recognize themselves on that, or they can like yourself for that. And yes, I have been making war on my family, has been making war since a long time. My father is in military, grandfather military, military family since I don't know when. You know, when I was 19, French Special Force in Africa. So yeah, it was a good nickname. So I say, okay, yes, let's go.
Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you guys.
Just a couple quick ones. I come from a military family as well, so I get what it's like, even though I didn't go into the family business like you did. That mentality of not being able to be broken, was that from your military training and what got you there, or was that already inside you and then was honed when you got into the Special Forces? Was that mentality of not being broken already there, or did they shape that into you?
So my father served in the Foreign Legion in France. So I think I got it a bit in my blood. But I was a child when with a good counselor of my father, with good advice from my father when I entered the military. But only 1 year and a half after entering, I became a man. So yeah, I think the Special Forces put me on cold blood and good mentality, because you know it's 1.5 year of formation, and you get it's the only special force I think in Europe where you can enter right away, because they want people with open minds that haven't done military for a couple of years. But like the people making it out is very small, because out of 60 only 6 make it, because we are getting mixed up with people like with 5 to 10 years experience in other regiment, 6 months after the beginning of the formation. And out of those guys are more experienced, and they kick out a lot of young guys. So I make it out, and I was proud of that. And then I served for 3.5 years, doing a couple of time my duty, especially in Africa. Fighting against Boko Haram or against Al Furqan, who are well-known. Katibat is, branch of terrorism out there, and yeah, I think I have grown a man, and this is how I was able to do a very fast career, because I was not a child when I began MMA. You know, I knew what I wanted to do. Like I tried MMA, I loved it, and I was like, okay, in 2 years I'm gonna be in the UFC, and it took me 2.5 years. But we had the COVID shit. I did 6 win in 11 months when I started my career. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And so, and to be able to do that, I have Daniel Warin, my head coach, Christophe Savoca, my ground coach. I have people I trust or that have been doing this stuff already with great guys. So I know they had the experience to bring me there. I just had to keep my mouth shut, to do the thinking stuff, and to work my ass to get there, and now to be able to be UFC fighter.
That's awesome. I guess last thing is, being a guy from Paris, most people over here and in the States think a wonderful honeymoon would be to go to Paris. Where does a guy that's from Paris go for a honeymoon? What locations do you guys look at?
I'm here in Vegas. My wife just came yesterday, so I think we're gonna have fun in Vegas now. But it's difficult because French guys, we love to travel. I loved Brazil. I did go to Brazil. But I just love my country, France. I love Italy. I love England. I love all Europe because it's very romantic. It's old school romantic, so I love it. But no, I get also some taste of United States, so we'll see.
Do you, this is a wrong to guess, do you dabble in cooking yourself? I mean, most people look at the French cuisine as one of the best cuisines out there. Do you cook yourself? Do you fancy yourself a French chef?
It's funny because yesterday night we were at the restaurant Le Partage, with a French restaurant in Vegas, where I think he got a lot of UFC fighters going there when they win, like Volkanovski got there, and man, yes, French cuisine it's excellent. You have to go to place where guys are doing real cuisine. I'm not good at cuisine. I let my wife do the stuff because I'm very bad at it.
That's awesome. Congrats on the victory.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.